Hi everyone, this is Kelly with Kelly Ann Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in McKinney, Texas. And this is our first card for the month of September. And this card I am calling Autumn Wishes. And we're going to use a couple of stamp sets and we're going to have some fun with some blending brushes. So we are going to be using this stamp set here, Amber Autumn, and we're going to be using this Autumn Wishes sentiment here. We are also going to be using, this is in the new mini catalog. We are also going to be using Gathering Moments, and what we're using in here is the leaf. And this is an online exclusive. So and this is the card we're making. I just think this card is so pretty. And what makes it pretty is you can make the background be whatever you want it to be, which I think is fun. So, and then the inside is just very simple with one of the bronzed leaves. Now this bronze is almost like a chocolate color. It's so much fun. I really, really do like it. So the first thing we're going to do is look at our kit. And this is what the envelope looks like this. Now you'll see I have a little bit of green here. I'm not too worried about it because when I send this out, that's where I'm going to put my stamp. So I'm going to just keep using this envelope. It's not one I would sell like that, but it is one that I would use like that. So let me put that aside. Put my stamps up there. Let's look at our kit. Of course, you get the envelope. Okay. You get your card base, which is going to be a Timid Tiger. And this is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. Just like with all my cards, I'm going to tell you to come in with your bone folder and reinforce that crease. You should have one singular maple leaf. It's not really a maple leaf, it's an oak leaf. It's like the bur oak I have in my backyard. We have these huge oak leaves. They're like bigger than my foot. They're huge. A piece of very vanilla, that is 1 by 2.25. You should have your very beautiful die cut, that is the leaves. And now when you get it from me, it may still have a whole bunch of bits and pieces still in here. You'll have to just pick them out. I don't always take them all out for you. This is not on an adhesive sheet, and you can see here's a piece right here where I didn't get it all out. I'm just going to pop that baby out real quick with my finger. And, well, maybe I'll pop it out with my finger. Take a pokey tool, get that out. The little schnibbles like to stay. That one just really wants to stay there, but it's not going to win. I'm going to win. There we go. I got it out. All right. And some of them may still have a coating of um, wax paper. When I die cut these, I put the bronze paper, then a coat of wax paper on top, and then I set my die. What that does is when I run it through, it it helps this detailed die not stick to the die, and it also helps me get things out. See, I'm still finding little bits and pieces that can come out. There's another one. That's 3 since I got on here, and I thought I cleaned this out right before I started the video. So you'll have one of these. You should have 2 pieces of very vanilla. Both of these pieces are 4 by 5.25. One we're going to use blending brushes on, and one is going to be the inside of our card. So I'm going to just quick adhere the inside of my card because that's pretty fast. And it's, not a hard thing to do. So we'll just put that in using the Barnyard C. And then we're just going to center this up. So we have approximately 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Whatever looks straight to you, commit to that. Now, our little leaf here, it's going to get glued on. It doesn't have adhesive. Now you can put it down here, you can put it up here, you can put it over here. In my sample, I've got it over here, but I think I will just do the same thing. So all you need is your green glue or any glue that you like. A wet glue works best. And you're just going to put a couple drops of this on here. And I'm just putting a little bit here and there, nothing much. You don't need it to make it through, you know, a nuclear storm. You just need it to stick it down. Um, and there we go. And it's not very much glue. I'm not really using a lot of glue. And let me put that over here. And I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to set it down. And once I set it down, I'm not going to move it. I'm just going to leave it there and press down. A little bit of glue will do ya. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could use some blending brushes and put some color behind it. I chose not to. We're going to put this aside for now, along with our top and our envelope. And we are going to do some blending on these two pieces. Now I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper that is already kind of dirty because we're going to start uh, blending, on, putting color on this. Once we have the color on this particular piece, then we will adhere this to it. And then that color will pop through. Everybody's will be different, and I chose the following colors to go on mine. You can choose whatever fall colors you like, but I'm going to be using Pumpkin Pie, Timid Tiger, Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler, and green. Now, green, most people look at me and think I'm kind of goofy for that, but in the fall, you have all these colors together, and sometimes they're all in one leaf. If you've ever seen a sugar maple as its leaves are changing, you will see beautiful burgundies, vivid oranges, and yellows. And in there, if you look real careful, you'll still see some of the green. So I like to use a little bit of all of it. I usually start with the lightest color first, and for me, that is going to be the pumpkin pie. So yeah, let me see, which one did I use? I think this is one I did pumpkin pie with before. So I'm just going to come on here. Oh, that seems pretty orange, doesn't it? Uh, I think maybe we want, instead of pumpkin pie, I don't think I want pumpkin pie. I'm going to change this out and I'm going to get crushed curry. I think we're going to change this out for a crushed curry because I know I used a yellow. And I may have used the pumpkin pie. You know, I need to just add. Ah, that's how it goes. I need to just add that. The pumpkin pie does go on this. Timid Tiger is going on the envelope. So I'm going to put this color and the early espresso for our thing aside. So changing it out, we're going to have the crushed curry pumpkin pie, Cajun Craze, and cherry cobbler. So now that I've done this, now I can still use this and it's going to be perfectly fine. I'll use it again here in a minute. Let's see here. I'm just going to go ahead. Sometimes if you just rub this enough, you can get enough color out. So let's see. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to put some random yellow in here just every so often. It doesn't matter where you put it, okay, because you're not going to put a lot on. You're going to come in next with the next color, which in this case is going to be our pumpkin pie, which was that orange. And I'm going to bring in some orange over here. I'm going to bring in some orange up in here, maybe a little bit in here, a little bit in here. Nothing much, nothing much. We're going to get a deeper color here in just a moment. And you'll see why I'm doing it in two colors. I can use two colors on here. So I'm going to just take my brush like that for a moment, grab a little bit of yellow, and I'm going to throw a little bit of yellow on there. And I'm doing my label also, by the way. So my label is going to get colors on it too. And let me just get a little bit of orange on here. Some orange in there. Doesn't have to be great. Okay, I'm going to shut that one. I'm going to shut this one. So, pumpkin pie, crushed curry. Let's get Cajun Craze. This is more of a burnt orange, and I'm going to keep using this same brush. I'm going from lighter to darker, and see how this is a little bit more red. And I'm just going to brush some off there. I'm going to put some down in here. I'm going to put a little bit in here. I'll put a little bit on here. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with, some real red. Well, it's not real red, it's cherry cobbler. It's cherry cobbler. It's pretty red there. And I'm just making little like dots like with it. It's nothing big, nothing, you don't have to worry too much about. There we go. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some green on there. And there really is no right or wrong way to do this. If you want it to be more golden, by all means, use more of the golden colors. And I'm going to put some green in here. I'm going to throw some green right in this area here. Throw some green down in here. I don't know where this is on the actual thing, so I'm just throwing some colors in. A little bit there. I wanted to look like just the colors were blurred in the background and you're focusing on that other piece. Now, if I think I need more of another color, like I really think I need more yellow, I'm going to take my one that I used all the oranges and yellows on, come in here and get a little bit more of that. I'm going to throw some more in here. I want it a little bit stronger. There. Okay, and then this guy doesn't have any green on it yet, so we're going to bring in a little bit of green. And I'm just using what's left on this brush. I'm not doing too much. Add a little more yellow. Okay, yellow, green. I think that's pretty good. Now, like I said, you can go as dark or as light as you like. You can mix it up. You don't have to use the colors I use, but use whatever you think looks like a good background for fall. And like I said, I like just a hint of green in there. It doesn't have to be much, so we'll put that aside. And I will put all my brushes over here. Get them out of my way. Out. And I am going to come in. Look at this. There's still little bits that are stuck to the back of this that don't want to come off. Okay. So now I'm going to use a little bit of glue on here. And really what's important is to get like the edges. And you'll see it's not coming out real fast. If you move your green glue pretty fast, you can get a fairly thin line of it. Okay. And I'm going to come in here in some of the key spots in the center where it's a little bit thicker. I'm going to put a little bit of dot of glue here, dot of glue there. I don't need it to sit down like it's nailed on or anything like that. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up this and I am going to, I hope you can see this, I'm going to set it into my hand and I'm going to bring the other piece up to it. Okay, and I want it, they're the same size. So I want to just put it on there like that. I just want it to marry up. If you have, like, I've got just a little bit showing here. If I don't like that showing, I'm going to come in with my snips. I'm going to ever so carefully come through here and just cut off that little, it is a thin little piece. And I've just got to get it started. And you will see how thin this really is. It's around a 64th of an inch. See how thin that is? Okay, so that is my top to my card. To this, I'm going to just shut this real quick, put it back in its little stand. I'm going to add dimensionals, but I'm going to add dimensionals to pop the whole thing up. So to do that, I'm going to come in here And I'm just going to cut. I've used up all the little hexagonal things in here, and I'm just going to use this to pop this up. It's just faster than putting on a bunch. So I can go right across the bottom and right across the top. And the best part about this card is no matter how you put this on the base, there's no top or bottom. It's just how you like it. Notice I'm putting the flat side facing the outside of the card, and that's just so it looks like it's a straight line, even though it's not, you know, a straight piece that's going in here. This is now all scrap, but I do have one more little piece of it right here, and I'm going to use it on the inside. And for some reason it's popped off of here, so we'll just do that. Just going to put one piece there, and I'm going to put another piece on the inside here. There is one dimensional on here, but I use it later. That just makes sure the inside of it stays up a little bit. And we'll peel this off and we'll put it on our card. Now you can use your take your pick tool to pick this up. If you have fingernails, a lot of times you can just peel these up fairly easy. And sometimes they just don't want to peel up. That's it's just how it goes. Okay, those go in the dustbin. Now you can put this up this way or this way or this way. It doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter, but really does matter is that you try to set this down so it is equally distanced all the way around, because those little dimensional strips will grab, and once they grab, it's committed. It's a little bit off, but it's okay. Handmade doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. It's just going to mean it's made with a lot of love. Lots and lots of love. Lots and lots of love. I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper because I want to. I just go in my trash bin and grab a little bit of something. I want to put just a dab of glue under there. And to do that, I usually just take a little piece of paper, put a little dot of glue on the tip. And there is a technical name for this. I wish I remembered it, but I don't. So I just tap that on the glue and push it down ever so gently. And any place else you think is sticking up that you'd like it to stick down, like maybe you want this part here, there's still a little bit of glue on there. So just go ahead and push that down and it'll adhere it down. You don't have to do it all over, just a couple places, but just use a scrap piece of paper to do that. Okay, the next thing we have to do is some stamping. So I'm going to take this piece and put it off to the side. And we're going to stamp our sentiment. And for our sentiment, we're going to be stamping in Early Expresso. Early Expresso. And I know I have the stamp upside down. And I put my stamps on crooked, and there's a reason for that. It's because for some reason, it comes out straight for me when I do that. It's like when I line it up, I just stuck my finger in the ink. Have you ever done that? I do it all the time. Okay, so now I'm going to try and center this and get it in the middle of there, make it kind of straight. Going to commit. I hope it's straight. Pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. We'll take that. We'll take that to the bank and we'll run with it. And now this particular piece, I'm just going to adhere down. I am not going to do anything but just put some adhesive on it and set it down. So I'm going to use my tape runner for that. This is the seal, and I'm just going to bring that in here. Set that down there. Shut my Early Expresso. I'm going to open up my Timid Tiger now. And with Timid Tiger, I'm going to make my beautiful envelope. And you can have your leaves going up or you can have your leaves going down. I'm going to make this one going down. So I'm going to stamp once. I'm going to come in and stamp again. I just think that's a cute look. It's up to you. You don't have to use a leaf, but I like to put something on the envelope so it just looks like it's mine. It's kind of a signature. And there you have it. You have your whole card done. No, you don't. You need embellishments. So the embellishments we're using are called the streak dots embellishments, and they come with the toile suite that is that the Amber Autumn comes with. So it comes in this suite, but it's in the new mini catalog, and I've used a lot of them already. So I just put a little bit on here, and we'll just take a pokey tool, and I used all three sizes. Well, it looks like two sizes. I used one big guy. We'll put a big guy down here, and we will take a couple small guys. I'm going to put one right in there and one right in here. There we go. And that is our card. Now, I think we came out looking, this one had a little more green in it. This one's a little lighter. Either way, it all works out. Just see the yellows. This one's a little more pastel-y. This one's got more of the oranges and the Cajun Craze and the red. You can see the green sneaking in here. Here it's a little bit bright. And if you have this and you want a little bit more orange here, you can just probably just come in here like this and add something. How's the red doing? I can add a little bit of red there. There we go. And I don't think I have much green on here, but I could add a little more green just by smushing it down. Sometimes if you blow on them, huff on them like you do a stamp, you can reactivate it. But they are the same card, only different. And this card here, I think, I'm trying to think, did I do it? I did put the card on exactly the same way. So that's kind of funny. I didn't think I did that, but I did. Now that's sticking up a little bit there. So again, I may just come through with a little piece of something and glue it down. Grab my little piece again. I think I want that to not look so loose. A little bit more. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Well, I want to thank you for joining me for the first card of the month. This month, I do have a total of 4 cards, so I hope you tune in for the others. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I would love to hear some comments from you on what you like. If there's different colors you would use for the background, let me know. I'd like to know your vision of this fall card. Thank you again and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.